Hello everybody and welcome back to the Mr. Matthew Does Coding YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to animate characters in Roblox Studio. Kind of like this guy from my devlog series, the little tool stand guy. So first things first, we need to get a character to actually start animating. I'm going to get an R6 dummy from the toolbox. Just like one of these. There we go. And there's two different types of characters that you can animate. There's an R6 and an R15 dummy. An R15 dummy just has more joints to work with. These little green dots don't have anything to do with it. But an R15 dummy has like a shoulder part, and then a forearm part, and a hand part, a thigh part, a shin part, a foot part, that kind of thing. For the sake of simplicity though, I'm going to just use an R6 dummy because it has less joints to deal with. So it's just simpler and easier to look at. Now I'm gonna assume that you are going to be using the default animation editor for Roblox, so I won't be using any plugins like Moon Animator to be doing this. So when you open up the animation editor, which is in the avatar tab, you'll get this little prompt: select a rig to animate or create a new rig by selecting rig builder under the avatar tab. We have our rig right here. We click on it, and then it asks us to title our animation. I'm gonna just title it tutorial animation, but whatever animation you're trying to do, you title it that. So now you hit create, and you see a little grid pop up next to here, and we have what's called a timeline. So this timeline is where our keyframes are gonna go for our animation. So I'm gonna click on our little arm here, and we can rotate it. That's pretty cool. And when we rotate it, this little diamond appears inside of the animation timeline. This is called a keyframe. And our keyframe is what makes up the positions that our character has to be in at certain times. So I can drag this over here, and then I can set the original keyframe to be here, where it was back at the start. And then when I hit play, it'll slowly raise the hand. So that's pretty cool, and you can do that with any of the parts really. If you do the torso, it's going to turn the entire body. But other than that, everything else moves independently. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna make a little animation now, and you can make yours and pause the video if necessary to make yours, and then you can unpause it and come back to see what's next. One thing I forgot to mention is you can expand the length of your timeline if you need more time for your animation by going right here to this number and just changing it to like 4:30 or 5, and then it'll expand the timeline, and now you have 5 whole seconds to work with. Just wanted to mention that just in case you wanted to make a long animation. Okay, so we have our animation now, which looks like this. It's our player waving, and then he realizes his hand has been detached from his body, and he freaks out. It's kind of funny. And now, we just need to figure out what to do with it. So first things first, make sure that your timeline is the proper size. Don't have it be like 8 seconds long, but the animation is only 2 minutes and 20 seconds long. So I'll just set mine to 3 seconds long. That's about the appropriate size. if you round it. And now what we're going to do is go over to the three dots and go down to set animation priority. So setting the animation priority is telling the game how important is this animation. And you can see some of these names are pretty straightforward. Idle and movement. Movement is like walking and running, so this is a running animation, like a custom one for your game. Then you set it to movement. But if this is something really dramatic and crazy, then you're probably going to want to select an action one. And the highest priority, which essentially overrides all the other animations, is action 4. So this is a very dramatic movement, like a punch or a flip or something like that. You probably want to set it to action 4. But if this is something like walking or an idle animation, then you can set it to idle or movement. Now what we're going to do is we're going to click on the three dots, and we're going to go to Publish to Roblox. Click on that, and then we title it. I'll title it Tutorial Animation, and then you can set your description to whatever you want. I'm going to leave it blank, and then we hit Submit. And you can copy this ID. We'll use that ID in the next video. And there you go. You just created your first animation. That's pretty cool. And in the next video, what we're going to do is take that animation that you've made and actually implement it into some code so that it can be utilized in your game and make everything look super cool. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you did, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.